If you want to make more money with your calligraphy business or your creative business, I'm going to say something a little bit controversial. Business is actually pretty simple. You're just avoiding the hard stuff. And I say it to me first. I'm target number one. I need to hear this as well. So, welcome back to Creative Business Real Talk. I'm Sheena, former corporate lawyer turned calligrapher and teacher, and I tell you what it really takes to build a successful creative business. So, let's do this episode in three parts as usual. Part number one is what you need to do, broken down in a simple way, and what you can ignore. Part two, I'm going to give you a step by step action plan for two profitable calligraphy pathways. And part three, why is it so hard to actually follow the pathways, even though I've laid them out for you? Once you understand this, it'll make it so much easier to actually do the damn thing. So, part one, business, when you look at it and really zoom out, and I've been doing this for over 10 years now, is actually pretty simple. Not easy, but simple. Here's what you need to focus on. Number one, honing your skills. So let's take the example of calligraphy. If you want to be an engraver, actually practicing your engraving skills, but with intention and efficiency, right? Number two, create irresistible examples of your work. Practice comes with this as well, but photography, not fancy. You can do it with your iPhone, but nice, clear, well staged examples of your work. And then number three, put yourself in front of potential clients using those examples. Now, when I lay it out like that, it sounds simple, right? Of course, each step has a little bit more to it. But if you really were to just like focus in on these three things, you would find clients. And I'm going to give you a concrete example. Now, before I do that, though, I'm going to tell you what you can ignore. This is what you don't need to do right now if your goal is to increase your profitability. Okay. Now, if your goal is to just have fun with your creative business, oh my God, go play, go experiment, right? But if you really want to focus on the money, you don't need a viral TikTok. You don't need to tweak your website yet again, or re-choose your brand colors, or launch a completely new service or offer because you saw your competitor doing it. And I say this because I do this myself too. Even after 10 years in business, I sell courses that help people master calligraphy and then start a calligraphy business. So I know that the best way to get in front of my potential customers is to reach out and collaborate with other creators who might already have all these, creative people in their audience who are interested in calligraphy. And that way they get to know me and I get to introduce myself to them. And it's simple in my head and I don't do it. Because despite what I put out here, on my show and in my Instagram, I am actually a pretty shy person. I'm very introverted. My strong suit is not collaboration, like reaching out. I'm very happy with a tiny group of close friends. I can be by myself for a long ass time. Anyway, I don't do it because it's hard for me. I recognize that. I'm working on it. But what I do instead is I spend sometimes hours creating yet another Instagram reel, which might get, I don't know, a thousand views. Maybe if I'm lucky, it gets 10,000 views. Is it really moving the needle as much as getting in front of someone else's audience who has like a lot of my potential customers in there? No, but I do it anyway. I just wanted to let you know this is not me like preaching from on high because I have figured everything out. It's just, putting the real stuff out there. In fact, okay, I'm going to wrap up part one with this. I just did a business mentorship session with a student of mine who her calligraphy's fine. She's really having a hard time just putting herself out there and taking the steps towards actually selling her calligraphy. And we got into this mentorship session and she was pretty much like, I really want this. I really want to quit my teaching job. I'm so confused on how to start. I don't know how to start. I don't know what the first steps are. And I get that because you hear so much online and there's so many tools now and so many ways you could potentially reach people. It can feel overwhelming. But I literally just told her the same stuff I told you at the top of this part one. Hone your skill. make irresistible examples. Reach out to people who might get you in front of your potential customers. And guess what? She did it. I gave her the homework. She did it. She created just a simple one-page website. She reached out and sent 5 email inquiries, and she ended up getting contacted by another engraver and hired for her first job. She's going to do a holiday engraving thing at a local liquor store. Hallelujah. Oh my God. Look at how simple that was, right? Not easy because she had to get over some stuff to make those inquiries, but simple. All right. That's part one. Let's move on to part two. I'm actually going to give you a step by step action plan for 2 profitable calligraphy pathways: engraving and teaching calligraphy workshops. So I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. And this is the part where it's like, okay, here's exactly what to do. So, roadmap to your first engraving gig is learn how to engrave, right? But do it in a really efficient way. Don't like belabor it until it's absolutely perfect. Get it good enough. The best way to do this, I don't have to tell y'all, guys, is learn from an expert. It's so much faster than figuring it all out yourself, and it's so much more likely that you're actually going to follow through on it. Okay? I have an engraving course. I have a course on teaching workshops. I'll tell you more about them later, but I'm telling you, whoever you choose to learn from an expert. Okay. Next, spend like $50 maybe on an affordable engraver and burrs, like just the basics. You do not need to drop hundreds of dollars for your first engraving. You want to start affordable first, right? 3, practice. This is the fun part. All this learning stuff is actually really fun. Engrave everything: empty wine bottles, your all your Stanley cups that you have lying around, any metal tumblers, all your coffee cups, old candles, old makeup containers. Practice on all sorts of different surfaces, and just really pay attention to, okay, how can I get pretty speedy at this and efficient? Next, you're gonna look at all the stuff that you've been practicing on, and you're gonna create a simple portfolio. I mean, just take photos of things. Take this opportunity to personalize like a gift for every single occasion that comes up. Your cousin's birthday, your coworker's wedding anniversary, whatever it is that you're celebrating, make a personalized gift with your engraving, photograph it on a neutral background, start building your portfolio. Okay, and then the 5th step, hardest one, pitch yourself. Once you have that simple web page, or you can be an Instagram even with nice clear photos of your best engraving, just start reaching out to people. Reach out to your friends and family. Ask them if they know shop owners, people who work at fragrance counters, any luxury brand employees. If somebody's organizing like a festival or a conference, maybe a liquor store, right? Try to think about who might want engraving services, and just reach out, pitch yourself. You might even offer to do maybe your first couple gigs for like a discounted rate or for trade or something, just so you can kind of get that experience. That is your roadmap. You can follow it. You can absolutely do it. And if you just gain a little bit of courage, you can pitch yourself. Okay. Now, let me quickly go through the roadmap for your first calligraphy workshop. Again, the first step is going to be hone the skill of teaching. That is a separate skill from doing calligraphy, right? Being a teacher is a different skill, but you can absolutely do it. If you know just a little bit more calligraphy than the people you are teaching, you can teach. So, again, I have a course on how to teach calligraphy workshops that will shortcut all of this for you, but wherever you're learning it from, like, learn from an expert. It's the fastest way. Okay. And then you're going to actually like watch the trainings, or, and just kind of immerse yourself in, all right, how do I put together an effective calligraphy workshop? What curriculum do I teach? Put together a simple workbook. Start simple. You don't have to teach everything. In fact, the some of the best calligraphy workshops where students walk away feeling like that was fun and I actually made progress and look at this little thing I made at the end are ones that keep it very, very simple. You don't try to teach everything. Okay, next, get some students. Invite your friends. Invite just like a handful of friends over, and you're going to practice teaching. It can be free. They can bring wine. They can maybe make a little donation. It can be low cost, right? This is just where you're really practicing and getting a little bit more comfortable. You're going to get the most basic, affordable calligraphy tools. Again, you want to start low here. You don't want to start right away with the fanciest stuff. When you teach your students in this practice workshop, ask for feedback. Really make time to get honest, like what worked, what didn't, where were you confused, what was fun, right? Ask them for testimonials if they had a good time. That way you can use it in your marketing. Um, Start thinking here. This is a little bit of a more advanced business tip, but if you can start thinking about it, you're getting ahead. What could you upsell? Instead of just getting paid for the workshop and then one and done and everybody leaves goodbye and forget about it, what could you like continue to sell to the people that you've already shown them a good time? Extra practice pages, digital worksheets, right? Start thinking about that. And then, of course, the hard part at the end, promote yourself, promote your workshop. You have those testimonials. Maybe you took some photos. You have a little bit more confidence. Now, again, reach out to your network. See if anybody else wants to learn. See if anybody has a space, can recommend a venue to partner with. You brainstorm venues in your neighborhood, maybe the stationery shop, the gift shop, the flower shop, the liquor, wherever, a winery, places that might be like, oh, that'd be cool to like have something fun and interactive that we offer in our space, and maybe we can tell our customers about it and they would like to attend. Okay, the hardest part. So that's part two. Let's wrap it up with part three. Okay, I've shown you the step by step roadmap. I have laid out the simple how business works. Why is it still so damn hard to actually do it? And maybe you have a sense, right? It's not the learning. It's not the learning of the calligraphy or the engraving or how to teach workshops. It's the following through. It's the like plucking up the courage to actually, promote yourself and ask for those first students and ask for that first engraving job. So that's why I want you to recognize that, really sit with it for a minute and go like, what's really stopping me here? And what I want you to do is set a goal date. That's what motivates me. I need to actually like be committed to something. So get you like tell your friends, right? Get your friends together, say, I'm going to teach a calligraphy workshop 2 months from now. You're all invited. That way you have to do it, right? Or set yourself a goal. Maybe it's by Mother's Day 2026 or by the holidays next year that you want to start pitching yourself for engraving and work backwards from that, and then take small steps. But it's important to have, for me anyway, it's important to have like, I'm aiming towards this concrete goal date, because you, on your way to building a business and especially getting profitable, there's so many things that you can distract yourself with. I mean, like squirrel to the max, but you actually now know that you need a focus and a plan, and a goal date will help you absolutely with that. Okay. I've given you two profitable paths for calligraphy anyway. And even if you run some other kind of creative business, I, you know, I hope you've gotten out of this. Aha, this is how this can apply to my creative business. So choose one, choose a profitable path. And I told you I was going to mention the courses that I have available, because learning from an expert is absolutely the fastest and most reliable way to get those skills. For Black Friday 2025, the engraving course, Beginner's Guide to Engraving, and my How to Teach Profitable Calligraphy workshops, along with some other very high paying calligraphy skills that are worth knowing, those courses are 50% off. I will put the link in the description below if you want to check that out. That is for Black Friday 2025 only. If it's not Black Friday 2025 when you're watching this, they will still be on offer, just not, on the huge sale, but you could still check them out. I will put the link below. And also drop a comment below if you're going to commit to a date. Just put it out there. It's so much more likely you're going to follow through on this if you actually write it down and like put it out into the universe. So leave that comment below if that would be helpful to you. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Another three-parter. right? Full of valuable tips for growing your calligraphy or creative business. All right. I'll see you guys next time.